9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Happy Friday, y'all. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad, and we have so many things to talk about. Our super chats are open, so for $2 or more, let us know any questions that you have. You know, where Sed's been, all that good stuff. You know, he's out in the streets, but we'll be able to tell you what street he is on. And then also, NordVPN, go and get that. Put in the code WWT to get that 77% discount to watch all the wrestling that you need to watch. Now, like I said, I am not alone. The PR princess is also in the building. Miss Courtney Rice. How are you doing, Courtney?
It is Friday. I just can't believe it's been a very wild week. Redemption is this weekend, but also a lot of big news that happened 24 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's also crazy to think that SummerSlam's around the corner too, which is just this month went by way too quickly. And also not alone, Kesh is also in the building as well. How are you doing, Kesh?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
It's
Friday.
Finally, I'm seeing like a crazy reflection in my glasses, and I'm not seeing a reflection in yours, Kesh. I don't know if it's like my and just
it happens to me
also,
sometimes.
Sometimes it does.
I'm just like,
yeah.
I can't even see my eyes. What's going on? So there's that. And then also the man with the good hair, the councilman's also in the building.
And my popcorn ready. It's going to be an episode tonight.
Oh, it's going to be crazy. But let's start with the breaking news that happened yesterday. SiriusXM and WWE team up for their official WWE Radio channel. So tell us all about it, Courtney.
Oh my God, this was big news. SiriusXM and WWE both put out a press release, but just kind of giving the rundown, they announced the launch of WWE Radio, the new official audio home of WWE, starting Monday, July 27th. WWE Radio takes over SiriusXM channel 156, serving as the ultimate destination for WWE fans as it brings together SiriusXM's popular daily programming, live audio broadcasting of the biggest WWE events, and premier podcast content. WWE Radio elevates SiriusXM Wrestling offering by providing play-by-play audio coverage of all WWE's biggest PLEs, including WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series. And in addition to these live events, the channel will feature select audio simulcasts of WWE's weekly flagship television programming, giving fans a way to follow the action anywhere. And it pretty much comes ahead because SummerSlam is next weekend. So SiriusXM will produce WWE Radio's first live event broadcast of the 2-night event on site in Minnesota next weekend. Lead play-by-play announcer Vic Joseph will be joined by WWE Hall of Famer Booker T as they call the action in and around the ring to SiriusXM. And also kind of going through it, there's going to be additional shows outside. Well, let me back up a bit. The programming lineup is anchored by SiriusXM's longtime flagship wrestling show, Busted Open, hosted by our friends Dave LaGreca, Bully Ray, Mark Henry, and Nick Nemeth every day from 9 a.m. to noon. Listeners will also hear Not Sam Wrestling Live, hosted by Sam Roberts, Cheap Heat Live with Peter Rosenberg, The Heartbeat with Natalia, and Off the Ropes, which features a cast of current and former wrestlers, including Mark Henry, Tommy Dreamer, and many others. The nighttime show, Busted Open After Dark, will continue to air 5 nights a week to give fans a place to call in and react after nightly wrestling events. And pretty much this is kind of like the start of it, but also it will include several popular WWE podcasts produced in partnership with Fanatics. Those include What Do You Want to Talk About by Cody Rhodes, 6 Feet Under with The Undertaker, What's Your Story with Stephanie McMahon, and WWE Now Raw Recap hosted by Sam Roberts and Megan. So pretty much if you have SiriusXM, you can listen to it starting on Monday.
Interesting. I have several thoughts and questions about this, but Let's start off with you, Will. Any thoughts about this big announcement?
Wait, who's first?
I said Will.
Oh no, I want to know what you think first before I answer. I definitely know.
Kesh.
I think there's a lot of positive, and my biggest negative is the call-in situation. I think that's gonna be messy because a lot of people like to complain, and there's been a lot of things people don't love right now in WWE. So I feel like that's gonna be interesting to hear someone possibly just like yelling in the phone. You know, I'm curious how that's gonna play out, or if they'll just cut it off because I'm sure they don't want to hear you like, you know, nag about their product.
Right.
I think it's good for people that may have missed a show or something and they want to just listen, and maybe just like if you're at work bored or something and you're just like listening or something, I feel like that's good, but I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50.
Okay. Courtney, what are your thoughts as far as a PR perspective for this?
It's very interesting. WWE is doing this right before SummerSlam, which is kind of ironic. And also with the fact too, there's a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of positives and negatives on this. I'm happy WWE is expanding on this, but also it's gonna be interesting with the callers, especially after Raw. Maybe NXT they'll throw in there, and also SmackDown too, especially on the After Dark segment where people want to rant on. And we've heard, you know, Nick Khan and everybody up front don't want to hear like the constructive criticism or like the backlash of everything. So that's also gonna be very interesting too. But also with the fact too, with Busted Open being WWE home, because they're used to cover everything of wrestling. Are they still going to cover TNA? Are they still going to cover AEW? Are they still going to cover independent? Because I know Matt Cardona, when he was on it, he talked about it from the independent perspective. And I kept thinking about Nick Nemeth, because Nick Nemeth is also part of TNA. And he's still going to continue to talk about TNA. So that's something. But there's always a silver lining in everything, because thankfully for us, we cover all the things from all promotions. So that's a silver lining of it, because that's like something that kind of caught me in the back of my mind. And also with the fact too, thankfully we are now starting to talk about TNA with the Knockouts TV tournament, and also with the fact too of the other things. So that's just my major concerns. And I know Busted Open, when they first started, they really highlight a lot of indie stars, like obviously, of course, Vicky from ISPW, Richard Holiday, so many other independent stars, especially if you've never heard of them, they often highlight it. So that's also my biggest worry. And also, I kind of noticed too, Thunder Rosa was part of Busted Open. Denise is also part of Busted Open. I don't know what's going on with Coach, because Coach was also a part of it. So I don't know what's going on with him. So those are also another things that are a little bit concerned, because I don't know who is still going to be on the team.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about Denise. The thing I am kind of not weary about, more the AEW aspect of it. That's one. But interested. I mean, we've been aware of SiriusXM for a long period of time, and the way they've been saying radio was supposed to die, I don't know, forever. And then also remember that one time WWE did try to hop into the podcast space a while back, you know, when New Day had their thing. So I think this is another foray into it, especially now with the paid component of SiriusXM. And as we know, WWE and everybody, it's not just, it's across the board. Everybody's now trying to make money because we're just all in such a weird place right now. My curiosity of it is, when you have somebody who is now such a monopoly, meaning that, you know, I'm seeing now that there are going to be less interviews from independent publications because now they have SiriusXM. And so now when you have such a monopoly on things, then opinions and true feelings of a product gets diluted and is not as authentic. So that's one thing. And then the other is just kind of like, two things could happen. Either WWE will, you know, essentially have the controlling monopoly, and it'll be like that for the next 10, 15, however many years, or people, the fans, might have enough and they will go somewhere else. So I don't know. It's very interesting, especially with the Busted Open component, because Busted Open just announced, was it back in December? Was it 24 hours or was it before that?
Yep.
It was just recently. So I kind of feel like that there's some other things that are going on as far as deals and money and stuff that we'll probably never find out how this all came about. But it's interesting, and I'm very curious to see how it's going to play out. Like, because you're right, where does Thunder Rosa come into play? Not too worried about Denise. Just some other, and I'm not too worried about the independents, because at the end of the day, if you remember when Oprah started her channel, the biggest thing about Oprah's channel is that she needed content. So anybody worth their salt as far as program directing and all that stuff knows that they need content. So they can't say it has to be WWE 24/7 all day. You have to leave, whether it's certain slots that not as many people listen or watch. They have to allow for some independence. The AEW components, where we're going to just see how petty or how particular WWE will be.
Well, I think you're starting to see that blurred line with that too, though, because even just watching the stuff that they're doing with Roman and stuff, you're showing Dean Ambrose clips again, and you showing Chris Jericho clips, and who are completely signed with AEW. Mm-hmm. Like right now, Moxley is Moxley's the champ, the international champ, right?
Continental champion.
Moxley is different from Dean Ambrose.
No, I get that. But again, there was a point in time where they would not show him at all because of that. Now it's starting to see that blurs a little bit. So, like, to your point, I think it's more Busted Open is its thing, and just the distributors now, it's still SiriusXM. It's just now a part of another network that pays you more. And I think being able to still talk about independent stuff, I don't know. I don't think they would have signed with that to where it just becomes exclusively WWE. Like I don't see Bully Ray getting pushed like that or Dave getting pushed like that. Like I think they'll still be able to talk about what they want to talk about, but still have like a few parameters. And even like with the calls coming in, I can't wait for that to happen. I feel like Bubba Ray and Dave gonna let them talk. Like, say what you gotta say. Yeah, no. Go ahead. Say what you gotta say. Because I feel like it's like Howard Stern time. Like they'll know when to cut that off. They'll know when it's like, all right, next caller and stuff like that. But I think it's a good thing in a sense. Like you said, it's a good and it could go bad. But on the good side, it's like now you give a chance where the IWC actually gets to talk, and this is a direct line, and we know this is what y'all listening to. Somebody in that company is listening to your radio products, and you're hearing what these people have to say outside of just sending tweets and getting a chance to really stand their ground. So it's a big possibility for it to be, WrestleMania 40 or WrestleMania this year.
It's gonna be very interesting because they're gonna do it probably next weekend because SummerSlam's next weekend, and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of calls after night 1 and possibly night 2 of SummerSlam. That's gonna be very very interesting.
Especially like the women's, like the interim championship situation, 100%. Determining who wins that phone is gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
man, we already know who winning that. We already know about the winner.
Wait, who's your pick?
AJ Lee is about to become women's champion.
Oh no offense.
That's a smart. Once I heard interim, I was like, yo, AJ Lee's gonna win this. No one else can afford to be this champ to let Rhea take it off of them. AJ Lee is the perfect one.
I have a theory though.
What would be your theory on this?
I kind of feel like they could sympathy give it to Charlotte so she gets 15. And we should get Charlotte and Jade right now at SummerSlam or not, but whatever. And I don't know. I feel like they're gonna like put the title in Charlotte and Jade, and then when Rhea comes back, it's just bam. Whoever is the champion, it's like there's already history. She's gonna take the belt anyway, but I don't know.
The only problem I see with that is they built Charlotte up so much now to be a face, and to her to actually be enjoying herself,
Mhm.
that would go horribly wrong if they gave her that belt.
But a lot of stuff's horrible right now, so I don't have faith anymore. I think that's really what it is.
I don't either, but I think AJ, because again, like it's the perfect patsy until Rhea gets back. Like you can do now AJ Lee versus Chelsea Green, AJ Lee versus Jade Cargill, AJ Lee versus Charlotte, or before Rhea come back, AJ Lee versus Paige.
That's true.
You now have that sitting right there, ready to go.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it worked. Yeah, and the thing is, like, the reason why it makes sense more to me is because she's gonna do the exact same thing her husband's gonna do as champ if they make him remain champ at the SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
They can do the one thing Cody couldn't do because they turned Cody into QB1 and the Super Cody. CM Punk and AJ Lee are gonna raise the tides of all ships because they will take a chance on somebody. Like AJ Lee would give a title shot to Michin. Something we know, like Michin has well deserved. CM Punk will give a title shot to Carmelo Hayes on a SmackDown, but it will raise all of them to become superstars. And you can have that even if it is just for 3 to 6 months until Rhea gets back or till when CM Punk wants to change the title or something like that. But it's a good look for SmackDown if you put them two a day.
Yeah. Also, too, which is very interesting with this slight monopoly, we're also going to see the change in the content creator space as well. And I kind of think for better. It's going to be a lot harder because you can only do so much when you don't have access to wrestlers. Let me put this way. Not to say you can only do so much, but if your primary goal into getting to the space was to interview wrestlers and now you don't have access to them at all anymore, then and you don't know how to curate content and you don't know how to, do things other than sit in front of the camera, it's gonna be interesting. I'm curious how the space is gonna change. It's gonna change one more time.
I'm curious on the watch party side because now that they're doing watch parties for WWE, I was like, and I've been told that they're about to do another crackdown on it. You can't be showing it, can't be putting up clips, nothing, or you get your stuff deleted instantly. So
yeah, that's the watch parties. So the concept of the watch parties is interesting because now, again, there's different, as you know, there's different types of creators, right? And fortunately with WWT, we've actually kind of been doing a little bit of everything. But with the watch parties, people, and this is kind of more an AfterBuzz model, if you guys are familiar with that, people really connect with the people who are doing the watch parties. So if you are relying heavily more on the clips of the show versus your personality and connecting with your audience, that's where you're gonna fall short. So yeah, because when we first started in 2017, the space was not. It was 2020. It was 2020 where the boom started happening. Everybody had a podcast and all sort of stuff. I think now people are really realizing that having a podcast is not. Let me put that. Having a podcast is easy. Sustaining a podcast and growing a podcast and doing all the things is the harder part, and the back end of it. So now with the 24 hours of Bust Open and then also adding WWE to the mix and then taking the media scrums. I saw a lot of podcasts after WWE took away the media scrums. They're like, well, we can't get in the media scrums. So, and it's like, there's so much more to wrestling than, getting an invite to a media scrum. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to how it's going to all kind of break down. And, I wish I could really give the real, like the business behind podcasting, but that's a whole nother thing.
It's interesting because you said this, because I kept thinking in the back of my head, learning how to pivot when it comes to content creators, because that's something in my industry. We're all learning how to pivot and not learning on one specific asset. And even for me, when I do the watch alongs, I also do commentary for independent. So at least I have another layer and just really get into that aspect, because for me, I'd rather have a variety of all things. Like I can do point A, I can do point B, I could do this, this, and this, instead of just doing one little thing. And at least I have those traits. So I think this is going to be a challenge, especially for content creators who are not used to that, learning how to pivot, because that's something I had to learn in when I had to work on clients. I had to learn how to pivot right away and learning how to be resourceful.
I mean, but it's like it can be difficult, but also it could be pretty easy for like particular ones. Like if you're doing watch alongs, watch something else. Like grow that audience. Like, hey, I'm gonna watch some classic independent videos that we're gonna do from wrestling, where I don't have to worry about getting a strike, or I can put this up, or hey, let's go watch the new Doomsday trailer together, or hey, let's watch retro cartoons together. I'm not gonna flag you for that because all of them shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just
Yes,
like just pivot to being able to add that to your repertoire. Like I've seen, like what are the boys' names? In the Clutch, like they started doing that. Like they're like they were really like they're in Houston. They did a great job of like doing watch-alongs, but they found a way to pivot and start going do other things, like doing album listening parties, like just other things that you like outside of just wrestling, because you now have a community that you can expand even further now by introducing that. And still the one that's here is going to come watch you because they're here for you. If, like TK said, you have the personality that you built it off of and not just trying to make clips.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Now, before Dylan asks again, let's hit that WWE SmackDown preview.
Oh, me? Well, whenever we're ready.
Well, yeah, because we have SmackDown tonight. It's hard to believe 1 week from tomorrow, it is SummerSlam. It is SummerSlam 1 week from tomorrow at the top of the hour tonight at 8 p.m. on USA Network. We know there will be a Honey Night SmackDown, so you do not have to watch SmackDown alone, and you can watch it with Honey and be a part of the WWT community. We're going to have the fallout of Saturday night's main event. Obviously, the situation between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, their tag team match. We'll see what they have to say, especially before their match next weekend. And it is finally official. Nick Aldis, Gunther, happening at SummerSlam. We're going to hear from Gunther after the match is made official, and very curious on what's going to be next steps right before their match in the biggest party of the summer. And we're also going to continue the interim WWE Women's Championship qualifying matches. After what happened to Nia Jax last week, she gets another knock of an opportunity where she takes on Charlotte Flair. And we're also going to have
hold on for 1 second. Go back to that graphic. What is happening with their faces?
You know what's happening.
I know AI is a thing, but we don't got no money. WWE has money. This is like the second time. This is the second time that I've noticed that this is all right. Anyways, go on. I just want to take into that.
Nope, that's fine. Well, I don't know if you want to see Chelsea's graphic, but Chelsea Green will be taking on Kiana James in the second interim WWE Championship qualifying match. And all this and more is happening at the top of the hour, 8 p.m. on SmackDown on USA Network. Is there a match or a segment or anything in particular that you're excited for SmackDown?
Chelsea look like a fucking vampire. Why is she so pale? Like, I know she white, but she ain't that white.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she look like Paige right now.
Oh gosh,
it's interesting. I'm curious about this women's qualifier match. This is how this is going to play out and how it's going to lead into SummerSlam. And it's so funny, like the SummerSlam and the WrestleMania of it all. You know, you think you kind of know the stories, and sometimes they swerve you. So I think something interesting. I think interesting, and hope something that makes sense happens leading up to SummerSlam.
I just told you I was going to happen. They gave it away. I want y'all to look at this. When has a ladder match only had 5 people in it? That makes no sense. So you mean 2 people at a time are fighting and one just sitting around doing whatever? No. No, they're gonna add one more person, and then you're gonna hear light it up, and she gonna get that belt.
And I'm 50-50 because I like the ladder match concept, but I feel like they kind of butchered like a lot of storylines, adding who they added in at the same time. Like I feel like Tiffany Stratton shouldn't be in this match. She should be like defending her title. And then you could have did like Jade and Charlotte, because I feel like Charlotte's gonna beat Nia Jax in advance. So I like it, but even with Kiana and Chelsea, like I want both of them to go if I'm being honest, but I don't know. I feel like Chelsea's gonna. You would think Chelsea's gonna win, but who knows?
Where's Julia? Why she ain't in one of these qualifiers?
Exactly.
Here's another one. Where's Jordan Grace? Why is she not in this qualifier?
She's on main event.
Oh, you know,
yeah, let's that there.
Anybody
want to play this man's music?
Wow. What are we doing? What are we doing? At this point, ladies and gentlemen, stop all the presses. Stop the news. Okay? Because if you thought having one official here was great, just imagine having two. And right now, he is probably bringing all of the energy from Vice City as they are preparing to return to the underground. But you cannot have an underground without a consultation from the mayor of Vice City, and he is gracing us with his presence today. The mayor is on WWT Live.
Oh, no, he's going to play his music?
Say his name and he appears. I believe it.
Said. Welcome, Said. What up?
How's everybody else doing today, guys? Happy Friday, Kesh, Courtney, Councilman.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I see this is like a running bit, you know. The mayor. This is why the mayor don't be showing up no more, you know. Just because these little interactions right here, they cost you mayor time. That's what we're gonna call it, MT. They cost you.
Oh. Anything else you need to say, Mayor, before we move on to the next story?
No, I just want to be a part of the show. We didn't need to do all this stuff and make it a big deal. I'm just trying to talk some wrestling, you know. We couldn't just press the button and introduce. We had to do all this, but
you got a whole introduction plus a video. You are literally the last member of that era who still has an intro video.
And I'm thankful for the councilman doing that, but the councilman had to do that because you just couldn't press the button.
I actually pressed the button. I did press the button.
Councilman, how do you feel that went? Like, what do I have to direct quote?
All I'm saying is this: the way it sounded like was, "Who gonna push this nigga button?" Like that's what it sounded like.
Does anybody want to let him into the house? I guess he's here. Like
he outside again.
I don't want to let him into the house. Oh my god,
he's outside. Not even do you want to let him in? Just he's outside again, just in case anybody is wondering who that is.
Well, somebody who is also outside is gonna be Victoria Crawford. So let's talk about TNA.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that was an interesting segue right there, but okay. Well, TNA just announced the release of Victoria Crawford earlier today. TNA released a press release. The announcement read, TNA Wrestling has come to terms on the release of Victoria Crawford effective immediately. We wish her the best in her future endeavors, and this is the latest person that's released from TNA.
They didn't say whether she left on her own accord or they let her go. So I'm curious to see everybody or hear everybody's thoughts as far as that. And we'll start with you, Kesh.
I want to know what's going on in TNA. It's just kind of like, okay, you're gone. I'm curious, like, what the backstory is with that. I didn't really expect her to like leave right now, honestly, either. So I'm kind of shocked.
Mayor?
It's not that shocking to me. I mean, it's kind of a changing of the guard, what you see with some of the veteran talents. And from speaking to her at Pound Town, I think she kind of knows what her role is in wrestling today. is that she's not so much like a gatekeeper. She's there to help groom the next generation, and she's comfortable with that, just being in the game this long. So I expect her to get more opportunities on the independents, maybe even another major promotion, because she's a solid hand to have in the locker room. So I think if I was to say anything, I would say it might have been mutual, if I was to guess.
Councilman?
I agree with what Mayor's saying. I think it's just, we probably wanted to lower something, subtract some things, and like she said, she know her part, and she may have better opportunities on the independent scene. But I don't see it as nothing like a bad falling out. Just kind of like, hey, you know what? I think this is coming to an end here at TNA.
And what about you, Court?
I think it's just mutual. I think there's just, because we have seen the latest releases regarding TNA, but this one, I think it's very mutual. And also, she did leave a mark. I know a lot of people say that, but just helping backstage, because there are some new people in the TNA knockout space. And also, as I said last night, they're kind of in a rebuild mode. In a way, when you really look at it, they're in rebuild mode, trying to figure out, okay, who do I see can lead TNA in the next 5 years? Where can I see it with that? And it's just figuring out pretty much their own identity. And it's kind of crazy because when I saw what they posted last week's TNA Impact was the highest rated episode that they had on AMC so far. And it's kind of crazy. It aligned with the episode of Dark Side of the Ring, but that's knock on wood. But she did provide an asset, especially when she teamed up with Tessa Blanchard, which interesting pairing, but also very excited for what she's going to do outside of the ring. And also pretty much she'll get booked in the independent scene and still continue grinding.
Yeah. I'm finding it very interesting with TNA because it seems like they're doing some very WWE type, I don't want to say tactics, but it's just very WWE-esque. So I'm curious. This SiriusXM radio station, TNA and WWE's relationship in the past, and their affiliations now. I'm just really curious how it's all kind of there's something happening where it's going to change the landscape of what we know now, and it's already changed as 5 years ago, but I think it's going to change again versus something that we knew to be true, and it's going to be totally different. That somebody who's watching, who's like 10 years old, this is going to be the version of wrestling. This is all they know, and we're going to be the ones saying, well, there was a time that TNA was Sans had no relationship with WWE and they were doing their own thing, and you're going to have them watch Dark Side of the Ring to really hear the whole entire story. So I'm curious to see how it's all going to play out, but something's happening for sure.
I just got to keep this in mind.
You have to keep who?
You just got to keep this in mind. WWE was sold for $9.3 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And TKO got to make that back in 5 years. This is why all these moves are happening. Mm-hmm. They're like, yo, we are going to control every piece of the market. Why? Because wrestling is still unchecked. Because WWE still don't have an HR department. There is no union for wrestlers. This is still wide open territory as stunt performers. So now we're going to take every little bit we can until somebody be like, I don't think they can do that. But they not. WWE is going to become Disney. Hell, it might sell it to Disney.
Well, so that's possible.
I mean, it's possible. We saw what happened on Wednesday with Disney and ESPN.
Bro, this world is just it's just this world is.
And did I hear they just halted Paramount and Warner Brothers thing? Like,
yes, they
that
did.
Deal just got halted.
That's on halted and paused at the moment.
That is
TBD. TBD.
Yeah, how we see television, and that's one thing. How we see television now and where it's going. Like there was a time I think maybe like 10 years ago, where I think it was Bill Gates who was saying we're our individual brands. And I just saw like a clip on Instagram where somebody was saying like you're no longer a person, you're a character on social media. Like, you know, you post that you're going on vacation, you post that, you know, you get engaged, you post that you get married, you post all these things, and they're your next moments are to post. So you're now like a character, your own brand, and people, and you're satisfying the people who are watching you versus actually just living. And then you're seeing the monopoly of all these networks. And I think it honestly might go back down to like, I think it was like when TV first started, it was like 3. Like we're gonna start seeing that type of stuff where it's no longer the multiple. You're just gonna kind of go back to certain. It's interesting, and then in all that concept, where wrestling's gonna sit and play in that. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. But you spoke briefly about it, Courtney. You had a watch along for TNA. Tell us about the Knockouts tournament, how that's all playing out.
So just a quick update regarding TNA last night. We just wrapped up the first round of the TNA Knockouts tournament. We had a great match between Elena Black and Wendy Chu. Fortunately, that match ended in a draw. I don't know why it didn't have extra 5 minutes, but that really sucked. But unfortunately, and by elegance, advanced into the next round. And I'm sure Mr. Concierge is probably laughing his tail off, which really sucks. But Zaya Brookside, the TNA Knockouts champion, attacked both Elena Black and Wendy Chu. So it looks like Elena Black possibly might be the next challenger for Zaya Brookside. Also in the second match, Jada Stone taking on the Systems, Alyssa Edwards. Obviously, of course, she had her husband at ringside, and we thought Alyssa Edwards would take the victory. But Jada Stone took the victory, and she advanced into the next round. And both of these matches were very good. Also, last night during TNA, we also had Nick Nemeth, where he retained the TNA World title against Casey Navarro in a very good match. Obviously, we did not see baby brother Ryan. It was just big brother himself. We also got to see tag team action where AJ Francis and, oh my God, Frankie Kazarian taking on Elijah and Moose in tag team action. And we took a trip to the Hardy compound for the ultimate deletion against the Righteous for the TNA tag team titles, and the Hardys retained because we saw the children, saw Queen Rebecca, and in the pool of illusion. And Jeff had a throwback from his TNA world title in his immortal days, which was very surprising to see. But just a quick wrap up from TNA and good watch along that we had last night on WWT.
I think we did talk about, as far as I think almost everybody was here except for maybe Ced, as far as who you think is going to win. So Ced, any thoughts as far as who you think is going to win the Knockouts TV tournament?
I feel like it's geared towards Elena Black. I was personally pulling for Thea or Wendy. I think they can provide a more interesting storyline, but I think it's trending towards Elena.
I think you said last week you gave your opinion, right, Kesh?
Yeah, I was saying I haven't really been keeping up with TNA as much as I could be.
Well, let's talk about Triple A and this. It's kind of, well, it's not Triple A and their new merchandising deal with Mattel.
This was actually a really fascinating story that was very interesting to talk about. AAA and Mattel announced a worldwide licensing partnership. This was actually announced on Mattel's official website, and they did a press release. This will be available in fall 2027. And pretty much they announced today a new multi-year global licensing agreement at their joint San Diego Comic-Con panel that expands Mattel's WWE portfolio to include AAA, one of Mexico's most iconic and influential lucha libre promotions. And this deal reinforces Mattel's position as the home of WWE action figures and toys for fans worldwide, As I mentioned, beginning fall of 2027, Mattel will launch an all-new line of AAA action figures inspired by the promotion's legendary stars, iconic masks, and vibrant storytelling, bringing the excitement of Lucha Libre to fans of all ages. And pretty much to kind of describe the press release, obviously the history of AAA, but I thought this was a really cool opportunity and nice that they actually announced it during San Diego Comic-Con.
Another interesting thing. We'll go with you, Will. Any thoughts on this?
Dope. I think y'all gonna make a lot of money with this, especially to like different countries and different packaging you can do. I don't know why. I feel like La Parker is gonna sell out. I don't know why. That and Insane Clown Posse. I know that's not their name, but the Killer Clowns. I think just him and the detached mat. Like, yeah, it's a smart move.
Said, any thoughts?
I mean, it could be a fun move, especially for fans of the AAA brand, especially children be able to see their favorite stars they see on television, network television now every single week, being able to commemorate that. So I think it'll be lucrative, and AAA quietly is like the brand under the WWE banner that's winning the most right now.
Mm-hmm. That part. The brand under the WWE banner. Kesh, any thoughts?
I was gonna say the same thing, like with children, pretty much. Like, I like the inclusion because it's like now you have like more diversity in terms of like action figures. I think that's gonna be cool.
Any thoughts, Courtney?
More toys for the children, and also with the fact too, I'm happy. This is a smart move that AAA is doing, and as I mentioned, announcing it during San Diego Comic-Con, one of the biggest Comic-Con events in the East Coast. That's also a nice thing too. Obviously, of course, Mattel, they're actually doing a doll with Cyndi Lauper that's debuting in San Diego Comic-Con. But I like that they're doing this. They're targeting children. I could see Psycho Clown. I could see
Mr. Iguana.
Mr. Iguana. Dominic with the AAA championship. That would be pretty cool to watch. Also, I would not be surprised if they did a doll on Omos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He'd be a great doll. Look, I think I'm going to once I get through this schooling program, I'm going to write my thesis on WWE, because this marketing, everything's not an accident. Like this deal with Mattel, the San Diego Comic-Con, the AAA folding underneath the brand, their loose partnership with TNA, this busted open SiriusXM, like it's I don't know, it's just fascinating, not in a bad or a good way, but it's just you're seeing all the tentacles of WWE and all the things kind of being expanded all over the place. And what happens next when they, TKO gets repaid, gets their return on investment? Do they continue spending more money to make more money? Do they offload? What's the game plan for that? So it's very interesting with that. Let's talk about Cody Rhodes and him questioning why celebrities do certain things. What did Mr. Rhodes say?
This is very fascinating that I had to read from Mr. QB1 himself. He pretty much has a message for celebrities in wrestling. Obviously, this, of course, he said this on his latest episode on The Tonight Show, where he recalled meeting Tom Brady for the first time. He goes on to say, I was very worried because the first time I met Tom Brady was backstage somewhere, and I thought he was a robot. I was excited. He's my favorite. I got a Brady signed helmet. It's all real. He's very inspiring to me. So I was excited to meet him. Crazy story. I said, hey, Tom, I'm Cody. I'll be out there tonight on stage 2. He said the most generic. I think it was, well, stay cool out there. It's a hot one. I don't want to disagree. It's the greatest of all time. Like, yeah, it is hot, Tom. So I was worried. But then he showed up and he did the podcast. He blew it away. Wonderful. And following up with that, he sent a message to celebrities to get involved in wrestling. Here's my warning. A lot of the celebrities and people want to cross into wrestling, and we do some sort of merging of worlds. I feel like they always get involved in my stuff. Travis Scott, Pat McAfee, they get right in or what I'm doing. If you come in, you can pick other people to mess with. You can also, not everyone has to fully wrestle. You come to the show. Prime example, I hook Cookie Monster Punk, CM Punk, Chick Magnet, Chaos Magnet, constantly miserable Cookie Monster. Right now, he is the beast, best in the world. He's WWE champion, but I hook his arms like this. I turn to you. You just give him a nice open chop right on the chest. The place reacts, they clap, and that's all. You get the Hall of Fame run after that. Not everyone has to be a full blown. They don't have to do this full thing. Let me do that. And you could actually check out on YouTube where Cody Rhodes talked about on being on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
What are your thoughts said as far as celebrities trying to enter the wrestling space?
This is twofold. I don't have an issue with it. I think there's a time and place for it, and it's usually around seasons. But I think, and we've seen it since I was a kid, it's nothing that's ever, it's just not new. But I would say it's WWE's reliance on it today. It's because they're trying to draw in different audiences that makes it affect the product overall, because they don't have anything outside of that to keep things flourishing for your fans who are here 365. So I would say less is more. Like if they did stuff like this around their big four, okay, we expect that. Or a surprise entrant into the Royal Rumble in a certain town, yeah, cool. But when they have to rely on it for multiple PLEs year over year, just because they're trying to sell tickets, then it shows. It shows in the quality of the product. And that's what we've seen more of in the past, I'd say, year or 2 years.
Councilman?
I mean, I don't really know how to take what he said. Like, weren't you in Arrow and in other TV shows? So couldn't the same thing be said about you crossing over as a wrestler? If that's where it was to be taken, I think like this is something that's been going on for over 30 years. Like, and it's not something that's going to stop anytime soon. I think people want to be a part of the show. I think it's dope when you start seeing other people become influenced within the show. But like, to the mayor's point, there's a good side of it. There's a bad side of it. Just like how we just saw in Saturday night's main event. The good side of the coin was Danhausen. That was executed perfectly. That was a great intertwining of NBA staying current with events that's going on currently and everybody winning. Shout out to JD McDonough having his first singles match in the PLE. Keeping Dominic, look, everybody went over. Then you have the end of the night with Roman and Jalen and they bullshit that could have definitely been left off air and just done in Madison Square Garden. That's the part of where, like you said, you're relying on it a little bit too much to where now it's diluting the glamour that it is, and you're also hindering storylines that take over, because that didn't make Roman nor Seth look good at the end. It's like, okay, why did Seth attack him? Why is Roman holding up the NBA championship? Why is Jalen holding up the WWE championship? Again, I know I'm not a big sports person, but it's like, why are y'all relying on this? And why is it closing the show?
Thoughts, Kesh?
Literally. I didn't like that at all. I feel like that was a good moment for New York. I feel like I didn't need to start the show with that and end it with the tag match. But I don't mind the celebrity appearances when it makes sense. But I also feel like it's been overkill lately. Like, especially in terms of bigger storylines, and the biggest one obviously for me was Cody, Randy, and then Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll. I feel like there shouldn't have been that involvement in that, that storyline in particular. I don't mind it because it's something we've watched WWE do all these years, especially WrestleMania season. I expect celebrities, but when it's in ways that don't make sense and it ruins things, that's when I'm no. I'm not very huge on Tom Brady having a match or facing Logan Paul. I just don't. I feel like I said it last week too, me and Courtney. But it's just no, thank you. I could go my life without that, honestly.
She said she can go her life.
I could. I don't feel like I'm gonna be interested in seeing that.
There's literally no baby face in that match either. It's like nobody likes either person.
It's like Logan Paul, right? That's the person. Yeah, I don't.
If I was on my deathbed, you would not hear me be like, "Damn, I never got the Tom Brady Logan Paul match. Oh, my life's not complete." Like, no. See, we barely want to see CM Punk versus Cody. We barely excited for that.
That's more because of Cody than Punk, though. I'll be honest.
No, that's both. That's both. That is. We can't sell enough tickets, so let's go get our two big stars that we know sell out Chicago and other places, and we're going to utilize that because we have to make some money. And then guess what? No one still bought tickets, and now they're as low as $25.
This is still crazy.
This was a match we wanted to see 2 years ago. We were all like, you traded this to not have Sammy in the picture, and it was like, yo, y'all were kind of like, you could have kept that, and you'd have still got these numbers regardless.
Wait, that was Saturday. Main event was this past Saturday, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still no they can make that up tonight. Then I would say there's still no resolution because Sammy should be in that match.
He's not. He's out. That whole thing was to set up Nick and Gunther. Like, he's just a casualty of war right now. Like, the fact that you make, like, he's probably gonna get like piss somebody else off with him being frustrated, and they're just gonna give us a makeshift match with Sammy and somebody else just so he's there. But Sammy is done. Like, he became a champ. You had it for an illustrious 216 hours, and you may get it further down the line, but outside of that, it's done. It's a wrap for Sammy. And I don't think they're gonna get it because Roman and Seth literally, and Cody and Punk are doing the same thing. Both of y'all, like, at that whole after show for SummerSlam or the kickoff show, it's like, hey, I didn't mean to hit your little brother. And I'm like, so we just gonna take all of what LA Knight just did and y'all gonna copy it. And now the thing he's saying, so all of this is little brother fight. The both main events are little brother fights. Gotcha. That's so exciting.
That's why you put Sammy in the match.
Oh no! I mean, good on Sammy for hanging in there, because man. Let's hop in over to AEW. We will be having a watch along this weekend. What are take us through the matches for Redemption?
Shockingly enough, this Sunday is AEW for Redemption from Montreal, Quebec, Canada this weekend. Obviously, of course, we already know what's going to happen with the buy-in. Celebrating the 60 years of the Rougeau Wrestling Dynasty. You know of the Rougeau brothers. They will be honored, obviously, in Montreal, Quebec this weekend. So just a little reminder during the pre-show buy-in. And we're just going to jump right into the main match. I found out earlier today it's a six-way ladder match to determine a future number one contender. So far, we have 4 spots: Commander, Jack Perry, Speedball, Mike Bailey, and the Beast Mortos. But they're also going to do qualifying matches set for tomorrow on Collision. Don't ask me because I have no idea who is going to be in the qualifying match. But so far, these are the 4 that are going to be participating so far.
All right. Coke Ball Bailey for the win. Never bet against Coke Ball, man. Never bet against it.
I don't know. I'll kind of know after the other 2, you know?
Yeah.
That's okay to not believe in Coke Ball Bailey. It's okay.
I'm only
He doesn't do it for me.
It's just you don't understand until you're finally on it. Then you understand what is the Coke Ball Bailey.
And that's a crazy picture of him too. Maybe that's not helping.
No.
Is that a mouthpiece? Okay, that's a mouthpiece. I
don't even know what's going on.
Yes, it's a mouthpiece.
I was like, please don't tell me that's veneers. Like, please tell me that's not, you didn't get those.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna go with Speedball Mike Bailey to win this. I think it would be good for him. I think it's Speedball. And plus, it's in Montreal. It's his home country. Shout out to Veda Scott, Mrs. Speedball, because I saw her last week at Fight Factory Wrestling. So shout out to Mrs. Speedball.
That's not their name. It's not their name. I don't know if that's how they say them in Canada, but we know what that ball means in the U.S.
I could differ. We have a double chain match. Jay White and Juice Robinson taking on Clark Connors and David Finlay. This has been brewing the last couple months since Jay White's return, because obviously there's a lot of bad blood if you're familiar with New Japan. And this is going to boil over into a tag team match between two members from the Bang Bang Gang and the Dogs.
I don't know who will win this one, to be honest. This is
yeah, I think Bang Bang Gang.
I do too, but I kind of feel like it might drag out to All In, maybe. So I don't know.
No.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, and like the Dogs not finna not put up a fight, but I don't think Jay White would take the pin though.
Yeah.
Especially just coming back. I'm gonna go with TK2, like Bang Bang Gang.
Said.
These are the two confirmed members of BBG.
That'll be competing.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take the Dogs. I think they just lost them recently too. I think the Dogs are due for a win. I do think it'll bleed into All In.
Yeah, I'm taking Jay White and Juice Robinson. This is Jay White's first pay-per-view match since he came back from his injury. And I kind of said this in my watch along. Mainly to Anarchy in the Arena with these guys. And especially when you throw in the Death Riders aligning with the Dogs, I could see Anarchy happening. But we shall see on that. And CNC taking on Claudio Castagnoli and Pac for the AEW World Tag Team titles.
Cage and Hope.
Yeah.
Edge and Christian. We did.
Thank you. Thank you. Edge and Christian.
We got shit to do on All In. Next.
Ain't nobody calling them that, yo. I don't care. We don't care what. Yo, that's Edge and Christian.
Oh my gosh.
I don't care.
It's funny you called out Honey for that on K-Fix.
The New Day will appear in London.
That's different. That's just like that.
Oh well, I still call him Edge and Christian. You won't hear me call him CNC, but I am taking Edge and Christian.
Because what the hell is a coupe? What is it? What is that?
I don't know.
You ain't a car. I'm not calling you that.
Oh goodness.
Cage. You don't look like a cage. Like no. You look like the commander of the peeps.
To all my peeps. all my peeps. just let the guys run. And then we have a tag team match. Will Ospreay, Jon Moxley taking on the Young Bucks. Yay! They're on the car tonight. I'm just being sarcastic.
Courtney, can I ask just one question?
Yes.
Do they always have to be on the card? Like, is that in a like? Do they have to be there?
They don't have to be.
Or is it just when I'm here to talk about these, they somehow be on this card?
They don't have to be on every card, but
they are.
Yeah, they don't have to be.
If I owned it too, I'd want to be on it. Now I see why Diddy be on all them songs. I get it.
Oh my gosh.
I get it. If I was in charge, I'd want a spot too. I see why Vince did it. Yo, you think? Never mind. I don't want to throw that out there. I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry. Never mind. Do not let me go down in the truth of thought.
I got Moxley and Ospreay.
Me too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Moxley and Ospreay, and then the Young Bucks are gonna get their tag team title match next month. Yay!
Question: do you guys think the New Day is gonna come at All In?
Yes.
Yo.
I wouldn't be shocked if they made an appearance. I would not be shocked if they made an appearance on Sunday. I would not be shocked at all if they came in on Sunday. But that's just me.
You say that for All In. You got to say that for All In, like, because that's going to ignite your tag team division something crazy. Yeah. Like, do that at Wimbledon. If you smart, do that in Wimbledon.
They need to revamp their tag team division. They need it. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to this match. For the first time ever, Kyle Fletcher taking on Bandino for the AEW International Championship.
Kyle Fletcher.
It should be a great match, but Kyle can get his lick back.
Yeah. Because he just got the title, right?
Yes.
He just got pinned for the first time this year too, so it's not gonna happen twice.
Yeah, Kyle got to win this one. But that might steal the show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one. Ooh, that's gonna be a nasty match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Oh no! I didn't even pick. I'm picking Kyle Fletcher to retain.
We got 13 more matches.
Same.
No. We got a few more matches to go. Then we have the AEW National Championship. Mark Davis taking on Andrade.
How you know? Andrade.
I'm going with Andrade. I don't know who this other dude is, but I don't like that Andrade is dressed like a emo driver. I don't like this.
It's funny. It's funny.
Change his picture. I don't like this.
It's funny because on my watch along, Jeffrey and I said he looks like Inspector Gadget with that outfit.
He does.
Like if you saw like, hey, Andrade is coming to pick you up in your limo in 15 minutes. This is his profile picture. Why they do this to him?
Maybe he did it to himself.
Lord, yeah. This is what happens when you leave your wife. You fucking lose.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Okay.
I'm taking Andrade for the victory. So, did you make your pick?
I don't really have any thoughts. I'm trying to figure out the significance of the AEW National Championship.
Facts.
But if this is going to be Andrade's first singles title in AEW, sign me up. So I'll pick Andrade.
All right. And then we have the TBS Championship. Hikaru Shida taking on Maya World.
Shida.
Well, we know who Seth's picking. Yeah, I need Shida.
Hikaru.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Hikaru.
I'm taking Shida to retain, so she can continue being the ace of the TBS, the face of TBS. So I'm taking Shida to retain.
Man, I'm going Maya, man. Shock the world. Do it for the hood, Maya.
Well, we will see Maya World at Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I want to see her with that belt on.
And then we have the AEW Women's Championship. Tekla taking on Willow Nightingale. Winner of this match faces off against CEO Mercedes Moné at Wembley Stadium.
Tekla. Willow is great. She's a great woman, but Tekla.
Yeah, Tekla.
Am I the only one thinking Willow? Or is that's just me?
Yeah, I want to see Tekla and Mercedes. That's why.
I do too, but what's the bigger match?
Willow. Willow's definitely a bigger match. 100%.
Yeah, because they got history. And for her to take the belt off of Willow and a stripper of her dream.
But it's Tekla.
I like the no. I want it to be Tekla. I'm just looking at if we're trying to get to All In, and it's against Mercedes Moné, what's the bigger draw? I still think it's Tekla, but that's me being biased.
Well, looks like I'm going to be the only person saying this because Willow Nightingale's going to shock the world on Sunday. And she will be AEW Women's Champion. And with the fact, too, because I didn't realize this on Wednesday, if Willow Nightingale wins, she's the first woman from the women's division to be Triple Crown champion if she wins. And
I just want y'all to know she wasn't the only one that chose that. Okay, don't let her fool y'all. And then she makes
like Will's like, "Is this mic on?"
Yeah, I was like, "So am I the only one with Willow?" And she said nothing. She just left me out here. Then I stepped back.
Well, I had to really think about this because I was like, I wanted to wait till everybody was done. I didn't want to interrupt nobody.
Hey, Courtney, don't leave me out here like that, man.
I'm not, but
It'd be a cute little month-long title reign.
Wow.
Don't say it like that.
Don't make me relive Double or Nothing from 2024, please. And then we got Chris Jericho. He's bringing back New Japan Paymaker against Tommaso Ciampa. This is the graphic, by the way, folks. This is an actual graphic.
I want Tommaso released from this storyline.
Man,
I really do.
Hey, Courtney.
Yes.
Courtney.
Yes.
This your man's right here. This show.
Yes. Yes.
This your guy, right? This the.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you gonna stand beside him?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
All right.
I'm gonna stand beside Chris Jericho.
Chris, what we doing, man? We got on makeup and fedoras. We could have did the victory lap, you know. Call back the greatest hits. at the Y2J countdown, but you want to do this. Like this is what you want to do.
Yo. Wow, MDB, you're a hot mess.
MDB, I'm gonna put you in time. I'm gonna put you in timeout, MDB. You're gonna go in timeout.
MDB, this is nothing to do with Courtney. Don't you dare direct that at Courtney. She did not tell that man to dress like this. Okay.
No, I did.
You aimed that at the right person, and that is the dude in this picture. He went outside dressed like that and told someone to snap a picture of him.
I get the significance of the Painmaker, but it's like it was so long ago. All right.
My only thing is, it's like you did all of this to still do the same match you're gonna do anyway. Like you ain't gonna do nothing different. That's why I'm like, all right.
I'm just gonna move on to the next match.
Let's do that.
The final.
That bullshit. Hold on.
He can still do a lion salt.
Oh Lord.
Hey. TK, who you got in this?
Oh boy. Ciampa.
Courtney.
I'm thinking Jericho.
Kesh.
Chris Jericho.
Mayor.
I got Ciampa. Like I'm taking Ciampa.
I'm gonna take Ciampa too. All right. Now we can move on from this shit.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is the final match on the card. Kenny Omega, Kevin Knight for the AEW World Championship.
Hey, why are so many people mad at this match? Like I've been seeing that on like Twitter and saying IG.
Yeah, I see it too.
Yep, I saw the heat. I saw a lot of heat on this. which I don't know why, because people were like, oh yeah, Kenny should take the night off. I'm like, Kenny's not taking the night off. He's from Canada. You think he's going to take off a pay-per-view from Canada?
Yeah, I think Kenny's going to retain this one.
Are people mad that it's Kevin Knight that he's facing, or they're just mad at the match as a whole?
It seemed like from what I saw was a Kevin Knight thing. They felt like he should be defending.
Wow, MDB, you're a hot mess.
Mm-mm-mm.
It'd be a good showcase for Kevin Knight either way. Good spotlight to be in the main event.
Yeah, and he ain't been doing much in TNA lately, so I think this is dope.
Wait, what?
Nah, he about to team up with Ricky Sosa next week.
Oh lordy!
Oh no, shit!
They did a pro. Leon Slater did a promo last night with Ricky Sosa.
Oh shit! Well, then there you go. He's still doing double duty, staying busy.
Golly.
Hey, I don't care what y'all say, bro. That's the same dude. I'm gonna keep promoting it until I see a picture of both of them together. And it ain't AI. That's the same guy. The lighting just different at TNA. That's it.
I will agree with the takes online though. It is kind of like a weird filler match when you know he got Ospreay at All In. Like,
I didn't like the way he got it.
To change
with like the MJF thing and like I'm still owed an opportunity. It's like that's between y'all. I have nothing to do with that. That was like my only thing.
I think that's what is gonna happen with this match though. You're gonna see some kind of MJF interference. Like,
I hope I miss him.
Yeah, I think that's why they may be having this match too. But I just again too like it ain't no need to just rest up, man. Like the dude want to be a champ, he want to be a fighting champ, and he in his home country. Like, yo, stop tripping. Like it's dope to see Kevin Knight getting a title shot. Like, chill out.
And
yeah,
also
there's that.
And also, I kind of want to throw this in there. This is the third top tier superstar he's faced. He faced off against MJF when he was champion. He faced off against Darby Allin when he was champion. Now he's facing off against Kenny Omega, who's now the reigning AEW World Champion. And with the fact, too, he can be seen as a future player. Granted, he is the face of TNT. And of course, he's with that creep Don Callis for all I care. But Kevin Knight has been putting a lot of work in the last couple months. And with the fact, too, Kenny Omega's wrestling in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. You think the man's going to take time off saying, you know what? I'm in Montreal and I'm going to take some time off. No, that man wants to wrestle in front of his home country. And I'm sure that whole place is going to be loud for Kenny. So I'm picking Kenny Omega to retain. I know Kenny Knight, that was a thing, but Kenny Omega to retain. And I'm pretty sure Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley will be watching from afar in this match. But that wraps up AEW Redemption.
And we will be having a watch along, right, Court?
Correct. We will be having a watch along on Sunday. So get your popcorn, get your snacks, get your soda ready, because we will be in Montreal, Quebec, Canada for Sunday.
There it is. All right. I don't think we need to talk about the stuff from the scrum. Yeah, I just posted the scrum too if you guys want to hear what Tony has to say as far as redemption. But with that being said, I know you have places to be, Mayor. So where can everybody find you?
Don't put this on me. Don't do that. We know you have your hard stop at 4 p.m. Pacific time, so let's just call it what it is.
What else would you like to talk about?
We can talk about Bayley.
Right.
That's pretty big news, and I put it in the group chat that kind of confirmed that she's on her way out. Like if you listen to her peers and what they're saying at San Diego Comic-Con, it seems like the writing is pretty much on the wall that she's on her way out. The pulling from the Survivor Series tryout next week in Minnesota, where she was on the graphic, she's now pulled for Ivy Now. It's probably a sure thing. It's just a matter of timing up the dates and where she'll land next. On top of that, there's a lot of free agents that were announced this week.
Zelina Vega, Aleister Black, Wyatt Six, Zoe Stark.
Kyrie
that was the name I was thinking about. Zoe.
Kyrie
Yeah. Machine guns.
Santos Escobar.
Yeah, Santos.
Yeah, and he just changed his name to I think Romeo Malverde. I think what it was.
So where do
Shout
you
out to
think?
Dexter Loomis too. Dexter Loomis just won a I think a stage walk competition, bodybuilding comp.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So do you think Bailey wants to go somewhere else, or do you think Bailey's more interested in training up the next generation of women?
Bailey's about to take the same type of lap that Mercedes did, touring the world and putting on these matches while she's in the last, let's call it 3-4 years of her career, and really put on a spectacle for women's wrestling and give women a platform. And that's going to tie into her school because her school is going to get that global notoriety as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only way I see her staying with WWE is if they start to maneuver her outside of wrestling into media, like being in television shows, being in movies and stuff. Because I really, I remember her saying in an interview that was one of the one things they would not let her do, or never let, not say not let her do, but they never presented her with anything when it came to it. So it's just like, I think if you were to keep her, you would have to do that, and then you would also, if I were Bailey, I would say you to have a prominent position in the women's creative.
Yeah, that's not Bailey. If those are the parameters, then she's not staying. Because WWE's not giving that.
Oh no, I know they're not. But I'm saying, like, if you want her to stay, that's what she needs to be at. Because right now they are deliberately, in my opinion, WWE is deliberately trying to knock down the women's division again.
It's kind of crazy, some people that we thought would be lifers for WWE. I think, I don't know, I thought Bailey and New Day, for instance, were going to be lifers, and now they're not. Like, I don't think, I honestly never thought that New Day would be anywhere else but WWE. Like, they were going to finish there. And I think they'll definitely go back eventually, maybe. I think this is where TKO comes into play, as far as relationships and everything like that. But I would have never thought like Bailey or New Day were going to be anywhere else but WWE.
Yeah, especially New Day. I agree. That was like a really big one for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the writings on the wall. I'm just like, it's not like, especially like if you watch Dark Side of the Ring, it's no longer like that when WCW shut down. Like, there's so much, like, as a wrestler now, there's so many other opportunities that allow you to go be great. And now with the simple fact that WWE isn't even the biggest check anymore that you could potentially get.
Well, that's the thing. I think if they did insult New Day by saying, hey, we know you put in your time, but could you take I'm just guessing, any type of percentage off of that? Like, it's kind of like, excuse me, do you not know? Because you think about the stuff that they traded to be with WWE, as far as Xavier with Up Down Down, and all the things that he could have done that he didn't, staying with WWE. So it's just kind of like, what are we doing right now?
I mean, but that's the thing too. Like, we know WWE doesn't care about these people's sacrifices when it comes to that, because even look at like Damian Priest. Like, Damian Priest could be in Avengers Doomsday right now as Namor, and he's not, because it's like, oh, I'm gonna go do WWE to follow them, and then what they do? They tanked it. He was world heavyweight champion for 3 months, and then you completely like took him off the radar, made him the street king, and I was like, well, this could look like it's gonna lead to something, and did nothing with him. Luckily he bounced back because he's now doing one of the voices for one of the characters in the Marvel Rivals game. But it's like, now there's so much opportunity with being the New Day when you leave outside of here, and the knowledge that they have. Like, just imagine they go to AEW, and AEW is already locked in with the anime scene, DC Comics, everything that they need. All you now need is brains like Coffee and Xavier to really show you how to put on productions for content outside of just Collision, Dynamite, and PLEs. And the money they're gonna rack in by doing it, because Tony Khan ain't finna sit here and be like, "Oh no, y'all can't not have y'all stuff." Like, hey, we'll copy y'all, copyright it, give it to. They gonna give them whatever they want, and it's gonna sell.
Even like the My AEW app, I would give Xavier a show on there. Like, if I'm being honest, I think that's a smart decision.
Or give him the podcast too. That would be really good.
That too.
Or just revamp it.
They're gonna draw viewership just off Kenny and Woods playing Street Fighter. Like
Adam Cole too, right? And Claudio, they were like a part of that, right?
Yeah, the party is essentially gonna be back together. Yep.
Oh yeah, because AEW still does their gaming. Adam Cole still does it. Evil Uno still does it. Like all the stars still do gaming.
Anna Jay just hopped on there to Twitch and streaming. You can make an entire gaming channel where all of them combine with one another. And then if you bring in Zelina Vega too, and she signed to AEW, like it's no longer where WWE is the only place where you can excel and become a millionaire. Like you can go prove yourself somewhere else. And if you decide you want to finish in WWE, then it becomes a choice now. But they're not. They're a big game, but they're not the biggest game. Like even look at like Jasmine Nix. Like Jasmine Nix, the timing seemed like it sucked because it's like, oh, yo, they went up to SmackDown. You could be one of the tag team champs right now, but she's making 5 times more the amount of money that she does in sponsorships and deals than she did being in WWE.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Anything else you want to talk about? Said Mayor Will?
No, okay. I'm glad you included other names and put that on me. Okay, I suppose we can go. Yeah,
I would just like to say before we get out of here is that by the end of SummerSlam, my client will be champ. I'm just calling it out now. Just letting y'all know that when y'all see the ruler is holding the World Heavyweight Championship, I'm just letting you know. If you thought I was a wild card before, you wait till I pop back on WWT again. I am going to be unbearable and relentless.
I know both of you are going to ask when you watch this. So yes, we will be having a watch along for SummerSlam. So definitely keep it locked for that.
Both days?
Yes, both days.
Oh.
And then just on a scale of 1 to 10, where are y'all at with SummerSlam's card right now?
I like it. It's the builds for me. It's not a bad card, but I would have did some things differently.
It's not bad. I mean, there's some things that could have been differently. I would give it a 6.
I'm waiting to see how this week plays out. I feel like there's some things that might pop off.
Also, did anybody see this Trick Williams match at Saturday Night Main Event?
No, it was on the
I watched
pre-show.
it.
No. Where did you see it at?
It was on YouTube because I was on Instagram like a couple hours before. They like randomly posted it, and I was like, "Oh, there's a pre-show today." It was like a few hours before the event. It was on YouTube for like 7:30.
It did not show on Peacock whatsoever. Peacock started, and it was just
it was YouTube. Like 30 minutes before the show, it was on YouTube, and then Obafemi came too after the match, and he did like an interview with Stephanie in the ring, and then I had to leave and go to Peacock to watch the actual show. I don't know why they didn't just combine them together, or if they can or not. It was weird.
You know what I say though? That's what I feel like that Jalen Brunson and Roman thing should have been. Because that would actually get folks to want to come to shows. Like if Madison Square Garden like had that and it wasn't televised, like it would start to get the thing of you don't want to miss it when it comes to your time because you don't know what's gonna happen that's not on camera. And then WWE can still film it and put together like, a nice little clip of it, but then it starts to become this exclusive thing. So when someone else puts it out, it's like, hey, you had to have been there in order for you to get this video. That's it. That's we
I wonder if it was on Netflix internationally.
Nope. And I went back to look at it. Not playing.
Mm.
Because that's why I was watching Saturday Night Main Event before I remembered it was on Peacock.
Mm. All right. All right. Said we'll release you back into the streets. Where can everybody find you?
What am I, astray? Is that what we're doing? I'm astray. Just came in to give me a warm meal. You're just gonna release me back? Is that what we doing?
Did he eat all the milk? Yeah. All right. Kick him out. Release him.
I guess you can find me this week. You can find me on social platforms at Said Is The Answer. That is on Instagram, TikTok. Check out my content. I now have a YouTube page with my content there. Go subscribe. Tell a friend. And then as far as this show is pertained, we'll leave that up to TK. There was once a Monday Nightmare post show that was supposed to be.
We had a whole discussion last week, and you said you were going to get back to me, and you never got back to me.
Wow, I don't think we ever interrupt people's outros here, but this must be a first for the WWT network. I'm going to ask for some decorum while I have the floor. As I was saying, there was once a proud time on Monday nights where the people would come up and say, "We want the mayor on Monday nights." And that was robbed of me from the man. And this is why the mayor doesn't want to be found. There's some simple acts of treason like this by our leader. But go hit that like and subscribe button. Check me out on TikTok, YouTube, and all the things. I will be posting content throughout the weekend. I think San Diego Comic-Con is this weekend. There's going to be a lot more events coming up. I think I'm going to be attending Lucha and Lattes out here in Anaheim in another week. If you're out there, come holla at me.
Kesh, where can everybody find you?
Everyone can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Wrestling with Kesh.
Councilman, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at the Bittersweet Podcast with Goldberg, Bret Hart, and Kevin Nash. Coming very soon to a podcast near you.
All right. Courtney.
Called
Oh my God. They can always find me chirping periodically on WWT Live as I can. You know, this Sunday I will be doing a watch along for AEW Redemption, so you get to hang out with me from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Wednesdays, you know, I handle AEW Dynamite. Continue the fallout because after Redemption we have All In Wembley Stadium happening. Also, I handle watch-alongs for TNA. You're not going to get a watch-along next week because I will be there live from Philadelphia next week. So I'm very excited to attend TNA on the ground. Also, make sure to follow me on my socials at Courtney and J11 because I have content happening. I'll be at NWA tomorrow at 2300 Arena. Very excited because NWA has a lot of rich history. Obviously, of course, TNA is coming to Philly next week. Make sure to follow ISPW Wrestling. Shout out to Tommy and everybody else because last night they brought it at Wildwood. Shout out to the Headbangers as the new ISPW Tag Team Champions. They really, really brought it. So please make sure to see their shows for the summer and fall. They are doing amazing, amazing work. And, you know, I'm just here doing some work and got a lot of stuff happening in the upcoming weeks because it's a hot city summer in the East Coast that is happening.
Yep. And definitely shout out to TNA and NWA for hooking us up with those media passes as well. So thanks to them. Make sure you check out, you can check out my social media at TK Trinidad. Make sure to check out the website. We have articles dropping all the time as well. Some updates on the website. So make sure to check all social media for Women's Wrestling Talk. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao for now.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might think he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.